Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Value Learning. I'm now going to prepare the CA coaching videos for GST, that is Goods and Service Tax, which is your paper 3B in CA intermediate level. So the basics of GST usually does not undergo many changes. The base is same unless your law completely changes, that is another thing. But still there will be some changes from time to time during budgets and otherwise as well, on changes in definitions, inclusions and exclusions, rates, or the return format or classification, etc. So I will prepare amendment videos separately as and when those changes comes. For now, this course is relevant for May 2026 batch and onwards. I am going to provide crisp explanations with illustrations on basic GST concepts to help you understand the topic and build your strong foundation in understanding it and how to apply those on a moderately complex scenarios. So usually the basic GST mechanics is also similar worldwide. Like in most of the countries, the basis of GST is same, and except for some local nuances specific for each country. So let me now cover what are you going to expect from this course. It should be a good starting point, and we plan to do the course and the revision end to end in 5.5 months. So you are going to get a free course material to cover knowledge gaps on key concepts. So the focus is on knowledge gaps on key concepts, quick revision preparation, study and exam strategies, understanding of each concept with a lot of practical examples, how to apply concept to scenario based questions, and video to guide in your learning. Up next, let's discuss the strategy for how to tackle this paper. So this will be your paper 3B in your CA intermediate level, and it will consist of 50 marks. Our time plan to do the study plus the revision in all of 22 weeks, that is around 5.5 months. So, and there should be a dedicated 3 to 6 hours of learning each week. So it should be dedicated concentrated learning for 3 to 6 hours each week. So how to go about it? First, read and practice the study material provided by the institute. Then supplement your understanding the concepts through this channel. Where you have doubts, you can post it on the YouTube channel, or you can email me separately at garima.ag14@gmail.com, and I will try my best to get back to you earliest possible. The key is for preparing any subject is to do revision and more revision. And you can also see my video on how to prepare for CA exams for study and revision tips. The ICA has provided topic wise weightage for your GST study, so we should be able to cover this subject in about 22 weeks, the course as well as the revision, and that 22 weeks is approximately 5.5 months. So we should minimum dedicate 3 hours and 3 to 6 hours of focused dedicated study for GST subject for each week. And so the topic wise weightage bifurcation has been divided into 3 sections by the ICAI. The first is GST law and its introduction. It has a weightage of 0% to 5%, so you should dedicate your time accordingly. The second and the most important weightage wise is the second section, which consists of levy and application of CGST and IGST law and how it works, and then also the basic concepts of GST like classification, place of supply, time of supply, value of supply, and input tax credit, and computation of GST liability. So it has a weightage of 50% to 80%. The third section consists of registration, tax invoice, credit and debit notes, electronic waybill, accounts and records, payment of tax and returns, and this has a weightage of 20% to 45%. So it is also equally important. Now this is the time plan and syllabus for your GST study. So week 1 is GST law introduction. You should cover basically the material provided by the institute plus this online supplemental coaching and study material questions and queries. Then week 2 will do the supply under GST topic. Then week 3 will cover the charge of GST, and week 4 is for revision of all these 3 topics, what you have already covered in the earlier weeks. Then week 5 we will cover place of supply. Week 6 is exemption from GST. Week 7 is time of supply. Week 8 is value of supply, and week 9 we have kept again for revision because it will be too much to grasp without any revision. So you should go back again and revise all of those topics. Then week 10 is input tax credit. Week 11 you should do registration. Week 12 you should do tax invoice, credit and debit notes, and week 13 again kept for revision of all the earlier topics. Week 14 is accounts and records. Week 15 is e-waybill. Week 16 is payment of tax, and week 17 is again revision for the prior topics. Week 18 is tax deducted at source and tax collected at source, and week 19 is returns, and week 20 is basically all chapters plus mock papers. You should revise again all of the chapters and attempt at least one past paper under timed exam like conditions. So you should attempt basically full paper, that is income tax plus goods and service tax, and it should be somewhere this revision should come 1.5 months before your actual exam. So mid semester you should attempt this to know where you stand, and accordingly you can revise and attempt again another mock paper approximately 1 to 2 weeks before your actual exam. So this will give you really a sense of how to appear on the paper, and will be a really good way to revise. Now let's discuss on the exam day what should be your strategy or the exam strategy. So let's discuss first the marks allocation. Paper 3 is 100 marks paper split between two sections: income tax, that is of 50 marks, and then goods and service tax, again of 50 marks. So the passing marks is individual cutoff of 40% for each paper, that is in paper 3 you should have 40% plus marks. Group aggregate marks is overall 50% required to clear the entire group, that is group 1, in which paper 3 is located. An exemption is to achieve 60% or more marks in a single paper. So once you get an exemption, it remains valid for next 3 attempts. Based on past papers, part 1 is of case study, which is MCQ based, and it consists of 15 marks. Part 2 is descriptive questions, which is of 35 marks. So, and you have to attempt 3 questions in total. First question is usually compulsory and consists of 15 marks again. And the next in next 3 questions you should at least choose 2 questions, which is of 10 marks. So, and the total paper is of 3 hours. So given it is 50% weightage to GST, you should not spend more than 1.5 hours for GST section.